happens when your body becomes your master. It becomes the master of your mind, and it runs your mind instead of you running your mind. Habits are nothing but something that your body is used to. Facing fears is just like quitting a habit. You were habited into, always escaping your fear, and now you want to break that habit and always face your fear. It's just like that. Hello everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you guys are having a wonderful time, feeling awesome. So, in one of my videos, I did explain how habits can, be quit, but let's go beyond the psychological and spiritual and whatever habit that we know, and let's actually make it biological. Yes, habits have a connection with our body. So since it's going to be science specifically, I'm going to be wearing my nerdy glasses. Let's get into it. Guys, in fact, it's not just your mind that's addicted to it. It's not just you that's addicted to whatever it is. It can be smoking, it can be... Did you know that even addiction is not just about smoking, drugs, or whatever? It can be anything. It can be like quitting. Yes, you can get addicted to quitting. The more you want to stay committed to an action, the more your body will tell you, no, quit, it's time to quit, and you can never go on. It's every kind of it, but first I'm going to explain to you the process that you will go from it with it in your mind and psychologically, and then I will explain it how it's going to be connected, in fact, to your body and your cells. So for now, we're going to take off these glasses and wear them once the biological part comes. Hear me out. When, for example, let's say that one of the most common habits that many people want to quit is smoking, right? Let's say that you want to quit smoking. On day one, you'll be like, I'm committed, no longer smoking. I'm going to start fresh. I'm going to go for a lifestyle that has no harm for my body. And then on day one, you're able to do it. You see people smoking, you'll be like, I'm not going to go back to it. I'm a fresh new person. On day two, you will hear some thoughts that will say, hey, are you sure you want to keep going on this? Maybe you could take a break. You'll be like, nope, I got this. I need no break. Forever, no more smoking. And then at day three, your mind not only will give you some messages, but you will feel weird. You will feel overwhelmed. You will feel like, like your body is lacking something without the smoking, without the nicotine that cigarette would give you. And then eventually you will get this thought that will say, are you sure that you want to avoid it? Remember how good you felt when you smoked? Remember how easily you could feel better? Remember how pleasant it was? Don't you miss that feeling? And then you would be like, you're right, maybe just one cigarette and then I'll go back to my committing mission. And then you light it up and you're back to it again, and you catch yourself, oh, you couldn't quit the habit. Now let's make it scientific, but not too much because it might get boring. Our cells get addicted to it. Yes, our cells, not only it's you that's addicted to it, like why are you even addicted to it? When you know that you want to quit it, then how are you not able to quit it? It's because your cells want the feeling that cigarettes gave them. In fact, when you, for example, when you try to replace the habit of smoking, for example, with going running, with gym, journaling, whatever, anything, your cells would be like, this is not the familiar feeling that I got. I want the feeling that I got when you smoked. And then eventually some hormones would be released that would make you overwhelmed. They would make you feel like, oh, I need to smoke to feel better. And this kind of made me feel like our subconscious mind, in fact, is not our mind. It's our body sending some messages to our mind to give it to us, to make us think like it's our mind. In fact, it's the body, it's the hormones. Hormones are released after some thoughts are created. First, we have a thought, and then the thought creates a feeling, and then that feeling creates thoughts. Overall, this cycle will go on. So if this thought gets generated, in fact, it's the cells giving this to the mind to send it to you that, oh, I love smoking. Without smoking, I feel a lack within me. And then this lack will turn into a feeling and it will make you overwhelmed. And this overwhelmedness will go on and become thoughts like, oh, I wish I could smoke. I want to smoke again. This overwhelming process will go on and on until you go back to it and your body is now getting what it's familiar with. So as you noticed from the things that I talked about, in fact, when you are not able to quit a habit, it happens when your body becomes your master. It becomes the master of your mind and it runs your mind instead of you running your mind. There is this really beautiful quote from Florence Scotia that goes, if you don't run your subconscious mind, someone else will. And that someone can even be your body, yourself. So from now on, as this process happens and you go back to the familiarness that you were in, your body is all well. It will be like, okay, I'm good now. I'm not hungry anymore. I got what I wanted and I'm all fine. But doesn't mean that just because your body is in fact comfortable with something, that something is good for you. That's why it's called stepping out of the comfort zone. Stepping out of the comfort zone is not just about facing fears. Facing fears is just like quitting a habit. You were habited into, always escaping your fear, and now you want to break that habit and always face your fear. It's just like that. Stepping out of your comfort zone means to get out of that familiarness that your body was feeling. You definitely catch yourself sometimes that whenever, for example, you are stressed, you do some things. For example, you might bite your nails, you might pick your lips, or you might be like this, playing with your hand, anything. These are habits and they happen subconsciously. You just see yourself suddenly doing it for no absolute reason. For example, let's say that you're not habited into having eye contacts with people. Even when you decide to break that habit and finally make eye contacts and keep them and hold them, you will suddenly see yourself like, making the eye contact, but suddenly for 1 second you will be like this, no longer being able to keep it. It's just like that. In fact, you would feel overwhelmed in your body, right? Yes, it's yourself giving this message to your mind to stop it because they're not familiar with this. Let's say, for example, you're familiar with drinking water. If somebody brings another liquid into your life and takes away water from you, you will feel like dying, right? It's the same for yourself. In fact, they feel like if that habit is not in your life, they are dying. But it's not them dying. They will eventually get used to it. But before they get used to it, they will make you feel like you're the one dying. Meanwhile, it's just the habit that's dying and the old you. So yeah, in fact, habits are nothing but something that your body is used to. That's why you would feel overwhelmed and weird while quitting. For example, I personally had the habit of quitting. I had the habit of quitting whatever thing I started, whether it was an editing career, whether it was my studies, whether it was becoming a new person. And for example, suddenly in the process of quitting it and actually pursuing the goal that I had, quitting the habit of quitting, I would feel overwhelmed. I would feel out of ideas. I would feel like I can't take it anymore. But when you recognize that it's not you that's not feeling overwhelmed and it's just your body, since it's thirsty for the habit that you want to quit, eventually you will be able to get conscious of it better and you will be able to create the new habit that you want. In fact, I explained the psychology of the spiritual reason of it in my video, which I'm going to put here. But as you even get conscious about your body and the biological reason, you'll be able to recognize how that habit was making you feel. And as you recognize the feeling that this habit gave to you, eventually you will be able to quit it. So from now on, make sure that it's you who is the master, and you don't need to do anything with your body, okay? You don't need to be like, hey body, listen to me. No. Just get conscious of the feeling that you get while quitting the habit and get conscious that it's nothing but a feeling. It's just a feeling or just a thought. Let it be. Keep on doing it. And eventually your body will realize that, okay, you're the master, and if they don't obey you, and if they don't obey you, they have no choice. The only option left is to obey you. So yeah, remember this and keep on holding on to it. And I'm sure that from now on you will be able to beat your habits and run your subconscious and conscious mind. Good luck! I hope from now on you understand your body, yourself, and your mind even better. And yeah, thank you so much for coming this far in this video. It means a lot to me. And thank you even more for all your love and support. I love you guys so much, and I will see you next time. Mwah!